Not look pretty, but it tastes great. It's Lizz's Ugly Bakery. Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio. And this excites me today because Liz took up the wonderful opportunity to think summer. And I was thinking barbecue. So she made this barbecue cake.
No, this is a cake that you can take to a barbecue.
And you slather barbecue sauce on it. You can dip a little bit of it, maybe put a little Tabasco sauce on it. Some mustard and ketchup on this barbecue cake that Liz brought in.
You ruin it if you do that because it's so good. This is such a fruity, refreshing, after the ribs and the pulled pork and all the stuff you have it at a barbecue, this would be the perfect topping for that.
You just said fruit. You said earlier it was pig.
I said it's called a pig pickin' cake because we were talking.
It's a pig cake.
Well, we were talking
for barbecue.
We were talking about barbecues, and Elizabeth texted and said, "Make a pig pickin' cake," and I said, "Okay, what is that?" And so I researched it, and it's just I think it's like a Southern staple, although I've never had it nor heard of it. But I think it needs to show up at your weekend barbecue.
I have Gesundheit.
Yeah,
Who
bless
sneezed?
you. Not on the cake, please.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, because my cake is over there. So she cut the cake. We have the cake. Yeah. It's got I would say, is that cherries and oranges on top?
I do. I put maraschino cherries on top. They're not actually in the cake, but I thought it gave it a pop of color.
It looks great. And you didn't give me a cherry, and I like cherries.
Oh, sorry. I'll give you one in just a
Please
second.
do.
But yeah, there's mandarin oranges in the actual cake mix.
Along with the pig.
Yeah, no pig. There's no barbecue. There's no pulled pork.
Why
would
you call it pig pickin' cake?
Because when you go to a pig pickin', you serve this at the end of your pig pickin', your barbecue, your get together,
I'm starting to get let down.
I'm sorry. Okay. Next time I'll make bacon cupcakes.
Because in my mind, I'm going to have a delicious bite of a cake that tastes like bacon.
Not at all. That you will instantly be let down if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for something light and refreshing.
Okay, so I'll get off my rant. TJ and Ben, our video producers, are giving this a try to give you an assessment of what this would look like and taste like because, you might try it because it's on the Rob and Lizz blog for Lizz's Ugly Bakery recipes. So let's start with Ben.
It's very moist.
Oh, thank you.
I will say that, and I like the icing as well, So
moist is a good thing for Ben?
Yes.
All right, so there you go.
Yeah.
It's moist.
Yeah.
And he likes the icing.
If you're making a cake, you want it to be moist.
Yeah.
Okay. TJ, who usually doesn't like anything of Lizz's Ugly Bakery, let's see.
He's right. It's moist.
There you go.
The flavors are decent, but
This is going south.
It
always does.
It kind of tastes like a wet sponge, like texture-wise.
A wet?
A wet sponge?
I love that I pour my life and my heart and my soul into
Well, what about there's oranges on top? What about the orange?
Them oranges are twangy.
They might be a little tart. They're not twangy. Twangy sounds like they're bad. Like I've had the can of mandarin oranges for the last 20 years.
I'm taking a bite.
Oh, please. I need some positivity in my life.
Well, this is not the bacon I thought it would be.
Yeah?
It's like great cake.
It is a great cake?
This is amazing, yes.
Okay. I thought you said it's not a great cake.
It is a great... I got to take one more bite.
Okay,
good. I usually don't.
Nope. But I will say it has fewer calories than a lot of cakes. But it has pudding and whipped cream and fresh fruit and...
I got to put it down because I want to eat the whole thing now.
No, it's good.
Okay.
It's good for washing dishes, too.
Because he calls it a sponge. All right, so... Lizz's Ugly Bakery. It might not look pretty, but it tastes great. Despite what TJ is saying right now, the recipe is online. Oh, and I'm spitting. At hisradio.com. Just click on the Rob and Lizz blog.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I'd say it was a little deceiving, but it was in a good way. In a way. For the deceit. Lizz's Ugly Bakery. It's Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio. So she said yesterday she was making some kind of barbecue cake.
Oh, back up, buddy. No.
No, for real.
You said I was making a barbecue cake.
Yeah, because you said it was something to do with pigs.
I was making a cake for a barbecue. A pig picking cake.
It's a pig picking. So I'm thinking it's made out of, bacon or something like that, or bologna.
No, but I can't.
Anything.
No, not
anything
bologna.
to do with pig. Hot dog.
Bologna from pig? Hot dog?
Yeah.
You want a hot dog cake? I'll do that for you.
No, I don't.
No worries.
I don't.
There.
So it was a little deceitful. We had it. TJ, who is our... Well, I was thinking...
That was not deceitful.
I was thinking you're pulling it's like a pork pull, a pig pull cake.
No, that was a misunderstanding is what that is, not deceitful.
So
Okay.
if you're accustomed to Liz's Ugly Bakery, TJ, who is one of our video producers, he tastes it, and then we find out what he thinks about it. Not yet has he really been on top of liking any of the Liz's Ugly Bakery.
Not really.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, not yet. So,
In a year and a half.
So what about the barbecue cake? Well, here's what happened earlier.
He's right. It's moist.
There you go.
The flavors are decent, but it
This is going south.
Always does.
It kind of tastes like a wet sponge, like texture-wise.
So he said it tastes like a wet sponge.
Yeah, a wet sponge. And Jen texted and said, I have one question. How do we know what a wet sponge tastes like?
Good question.
Yeah, thanks, Jen.
TJ.
Well, I was in the Navy, and I used to have to clean a lot, and I'd be a little hungry. So
True story?
Would
I
you
mean, I know
really?
you were in the Navy, but true story, you actually took a chunk out of a
You would chew
sponge?
on a sponge?
no.
Oh, okay.
All
I was
right.
about to say, after you cleaned the ship and then you took a
Oh,
bite of the sponge.
That brought it to a whole new level of disgusting. I'm sorry.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Today's the Ring of Fire.
What's the ring
The
of
solar eclipse that's happening. Now, I don't know if you recall this, but it was 2017 that we literally had the opportunity to experience a full solar eclipse.
It was so cool.
It was better than the movies.
Yeah.
I mean, when you looked at it.
Right.
I mean, at his radio, we haven't had some of those solar eclipse parties.
Yeah.
We're in, Columbia, Charleston, where it rained, so we had to go inside in Charleston.
Oh, no,
I remember
right.
that. It was Mount Pleasant, had to go into the church.
Oh, no.
And then in Greenville, South Carolina, we're in a parking lot as well. Brian Sumner was there. The guy was just amazing. You know, the one who's in the middle of the day here at his radio when he was describing what it looked like for the solar eclipse that happened back in 2017. Now we get a sliver of it in the northern part of our country because it's going on until about 6:30 right now.
Right. Yeah. I think NASA is streaming it live or
They
something.
are, yeah.
But it would be super cool to have been able to see it. Unfortunately, in this area, we don't get to see it as much.
No, New York, Toronto, Philadelphia, some of the areas up in the northwest, or northeast see it fine. It's a sliver of it, so it looks
Right.
like a thumbnail, but
Yeah,
still,
which
it's a
is
little something.
Oh, cool. But that total solar eclipse a couple years ago, it was the neatest thing I've ever been part of. My kids were there with me, just laid out in a field, like we laid down, watched it all happen.
Oh, and the temperature dropped a little bit.
Yes.
And
And
the
the-
birds were silent. It
Yeah.
was like it was an eerie movie, but cool all at the same time.
Right. Can you imagine the birds are like, nee, 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 nee. What is happening? Like,
Yeah,
what?
it's like, is it time to go to bed? Yeah, but that's happening now until about 6:30. If you want to see it, NASA's streaming it live.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, because Harrison Ford is reprising the character. It's Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio.
Yeah, well, I don't know a lot about the new movie that's going to be coming out, but it's out in 2022, I believe. But Josh Gad, who is an actor, he plays Olaf in Frozen, he posted a picture, I don't know that he was supposed to, from the set of the new movie that they're filming.
Is he in it?
That I looked. I tried to find nowhere. It's not on his IMDb page. It's nowhere that he's in the movie. But I'm thinking if he's on set taking pictures, he's in the
He
movie
could be.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's got a lot of connections. He has
Right.
that podcast where
Right.
he brings a lot of the old stars back
Celebrities,
from
yeah.
the 80s.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's doing a podcast.
I don't know if he's doing a podcast,
Yeah,
but he's got connections,
Yes,
is what I'm trying to say.
exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see. But it's exciting for a lot of folks because if they followed the whole Indiana Jones series,
Yeah,
they've got him.
Well, the last Indiana Jones movie that Harrison Ford was in was 2008, and it wasn't. To me, it was not a good Indiana Jones movie.
Really? You just didn't like it, huh?
It was the one with Shia LaBeouf.
Who?
Yeah, evidently he was supposed to be kind of the next Indiana Jones at the time, and then
He played the guy's son, right?
something like that. I can't.
Wow, she's
No, I'm telling you, I did not like that movie at all.
she's trying to block it from her
I
memory
think I am.
completely.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's that encouraging way to start your day. I'm glad you're along with us this morning. It's His Radio, Rob and Lizz.
I love to color, and I haven't done it in a while, but I really enjoyed it as a kid, and I know a lot of adults do it too.
My wife does it all the time.
Yeah.
She's got those adult coloring books, I guess.
A little more
they're kind
intricate.
they're kind of mosaic
Right.
kind of stuff that's in there that she colors. She
Yeah.
really likes it.
Yeah, well, she's going to love this, I think. You can download, and really this is for adults and kids, but there are some downloadable coloring books from 100 museums. One of those is the New York Academy of Medicine. They have one. Now, I don't know what this one looks like, but it'd be kind of cool to kind of check it out. But different museums from around the world, you can color from pictures from like ancient times in Barcelona. You can do murals. You can do Victorian flora, all kinds of illustrations. So there's everything from back in the Middle Ages to floral coloring pages that you can do. And they're all very intricate. And you download them for free.
From the museums?
Yes.
How many of them?
There's
You said
100 different museums that you can choose from. And, I don't know if it's like Air and Space Museum or, but it's 100 museums from around the world. And, like the Mona Lisa. And,
Well, I like that. That's a good activity, especially if you're doing road trips and
Right.
vacations and you need some things for the kids to do. That
Yeah.
certainly will help.
but it's also, and I'm sure Amy and I have a really good friend, Ann, that loves to color. And she does it to de-stress or decompress.
Who's Ann?
My friend. I said my best friend.
You said my wife has this same friend?
No, I said your wife likes to color and my best friend,
Oh.
Ann.
I'm like, who
Let's
is
get that
Ann?
straight. Yes.
I don't know
is
who
my
Ann. I would think I would know my wife's friend, but evidently I don't.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So Tole thought, hey, I'd like to break a world record. How can I get in the Guinness Book of World Records? How about I give birth to 10 babies at once? It's Rob and Lizz, his morning crew at His Radio. 10 babies.
Do you think it went down like that? I don't know. She had 10 babies. Like there were no fertility treatments. It was nothing like that. Naturally, 10 babies.
Well, at first the doctors thought, six?
Six.
Wasn't it
Right.
6 at first?
And then it went to 8. And then when she actually gave birth by cesarean, 10 babies. I mean, did she have 6 names picked out and then all of a sudden had to scramble
Probably
for
not.
4 more?
That is just amazing.
And you wonder, okay, so how did doctors, with all the technology that we have, how did he or she miss
I
couple
think
extra
it's
babies?
easy.
I do too.
That's an ultrasound. I think that's
Right.
easy enough to miss in a
Yes.
very small uterus. I mean, come on.
And kids play tricks all the time, so they're hiding behind each other. They're like,
Hide and go
you're not going to know I'm here.
Not getting me this day. Too bad.
Can you imagine?
Raising that many?
I had boys 17 months apart, and it was hard enough, like one going down for a nap while I feed the other one and trying to get them at the nap at the same time. But 10?
Yeah, they're going to need some help.
I hope they have a large extended family, lots of friends, church family.
They
that can
automatically
come in.
got an extended family. 10
Well,
kids.
true.
That many kids. And she didn't try for the world record. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I won that. Oh, great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah,
Do
no.
I get diapers?
No, you change these kids, huh?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Sydney is traveling from Columbus to Florida. She's meeting up with some friends in Tampa. And her friend says, okay, listen, I'll give you $20 if you check on a pool noodle.
Oh, it was a bed.
A pool noodle, I'll give you $20. It's yours, but you've got to travel and check on the pool noodle like it was luggage. She's like, hey, $20, I'll do it. So she did. I mean, literally, she went up, and you know how you have to tag your luggage? Uh-huh. She tagged the noodle.
No, she did not.
She wrapped the thing around the noodle and then brought the noodle. I mean, it's there. And so she has to document this thing so the guy knows that this actually happened. So she puts it up on her social media. You literally see the guys down where they put the luggage into the plane. So they're looking at the noodle going, well, okay, and put it on a little thing that brings it up into the conveyor belt into the plane. And then, of course, when she gets there,
Yeah.
the pool noodle is there at the turnstile where you pick up your
right.
luggage, you know?
That little conveyor belt.
The luggage conveyor belt thing, carousel. And the thing is, on her return trip, you should have seen the luggage cart then.
What?
Because when she got back home, I think this was back home.
Yeah.
Southwest Airlines decided they're going to have fun with this pool noodle because they saw the postings of it all.
Right.
And so, the luggage turnstile, the
Yeah.
carousel, when she got back, they were filled with tons of pool noodles.
Southwest seems to have fun with their the people that fly in their planes use their services, but that I've never seen anything that unusual
It
on
was
a plane.
funny, yeah. And when she landed, there was a bunch of them on the ground. They knew what plane she was on, and they were waving pool noodles on the ground at the plane. It was funny.
You know what? And that was worth more than that $20 for sure to have all that interaction. And I guess it's going viral. Everybody's talking about it now.
Hundreds of millions of people
Of course.
are seeing this thing.
And they
It's-
know she's pool noodle girl now. I can't say that. Pool noodle girl for the rest of her life.
Yep. She's got to travel with a pool noodle wherever she goes.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Have the opportunity to get out. We have the opportunity to travel. And then those unexpected things that you see when you're traveling. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Like people witnessing on the plane, Liz Riles punching her husband.
I did. We lost altitude, and it was just a reaction. He was asleep, by the way, and I punched him, and other travelers around us saw what happened and laughed.
Was it? You said he was asleep, right?
He was asleep, and I punched him
Yeah, and the guy
Right in
has
the
a
lap.
rude
Yeah.
awakening in the lap.
in the lap.
Oh,
In the lap.
okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So, Ben, you had what, Ben, when you were traveling with you?
Yeah, I was stopped by TSA because I had Pop-Tarts in my suitcase.
Pop-Tarts.
Why would they stop you for Pop-Tarts?
Were you? Was it a carry-on?
No, it wasn't a carry-on. It was just in my suitcase.
Well, I guess they were hungry.
Well, were you
That's all I
traveling
can think.
internationally?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because they will stop you for some of those things just to make sure
food.
they're not opened
That's
or
really Pop-Tarts,
agriculture.
right? Okay. Leah's here at 800-447-7234. Okay, you say you're driving on vacation. What did you see?
There was this car next to us driving along, and it was being held together by compound and duct tape. There
What?
really wasn't much of a car other than the duct tape and the compound.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
The things that you see while you are traveling because, well, you get to now. Get out, which is nice.
So good.
It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Sheila is along with us. And Sheila, what happened when you were traveling that was kind of unexpected?
My husband will not be happy about this, but we would bring coconut oil with us, like a jar of coconut oil, and it's a solid, and honey. And my husband almost got body searched.
Why?
We were in Wisconsin, and it was a really, really small airport, and they were like, "What is this?" And it's like, "Okay, it's honey." And then we've got coconut oil because I like to do things naturally.
For coconut oil? Like, I don't even understand how one escalates to the other.
So while you're
don't
traveling,
know.
you use this in restaurants?
No. Well, we use it for many things. You can use it as a sunscreen, for lip balm, hand cream, eye cream.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, and my wife wants me to use the 500, whatever you call it, sunproof stuff, so I don't get sunburned.
Yeah. Then don't use, I think, coconut cream or coconut oil. I don't
Because
think
that
it
would
works.
burn my nose,
Yeah.
and that would not be good.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This young lady, Jordan, she wanted to redo her bathroom floor, so she covered her floor in pennies. Literally. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. $77 worth of pennies.
Yeah.
That's 7,700 pennies.
She has a small bathroom, so think about your bathroom. Just try to calculate how many pennies that you would need. Thing is, when she did this, and she poured some sort of substance over the top of it to make it kind of shiny and glossy. I mean, it looks absolutely beautiful, but it ended up costing her more than $77 to do it.
It didn't cost her more. Somebody saw a rare penny
Yeah.
when she posted this thing.
Yeah.
And the penny was from 1943.
Right.
They were steel pennies back in the time, so the estimates now for that penny alone is $60,000 to $85,000. That's how much the thing is worth.
Yeah, well-
the penny itself.
Yeah, that's how much she's out.
What do you mean?
I mean, she could have taken that to a coin collector had she not put it on her
If she not
bathroom.
epoxied the floor?
Yeah, if she'd not put it, because now she can't get it up, I guess.
She
I don't
can't?
know.
Why
I don't
not?
know.
Why wouldn't you be
I
able
don't
to?
know. I don't know. If
Now
she
I
would.
see why you said it cost her
Yeah,
more, because
yeah.
she's got a penny that's worth almost $85,000.
Yeah.
Very rare penny.
Yeah.
On her floor now.
Every time I walk into that bathroom and I saw that wheat penny, I'd be like, ugh.
Right?
I don't. Maybe I
How
would.
is she going to know?
No, but since somebody brought it to her attention, now she's probably.
Oh,
you
the
know.
poor thing.
I do. I feel sorry for her.
You would think she'd be able to do something about that. Get that penny up and unepoxy it or whatever you call it.
I guess I'd call in a professional to make sure that it came up cleanly and nicely and it wasn't damaged, so I
And
could.
not scarred?
Yeah, and then you take it to a coin collector and they're like, wah, wah, it's only worth a penny. That would be my luck.
Wouldn't that be wild?
That'd be awful. That'd be my luck.
If that person who told her it was worth
Yeah.
that much money was
Right.
actually wrong?
Yeah. Call the coin collector, bring him to your house, take him in the bathroom,
Yeah,
let
go.
him see.
Here it is, this one right here.
Is it worth it?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Even though it's 50 yards and it's a challenge, this has nothing to do with a football or soccer field. It's Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio.
No, it is a website and an organization. We are raisingmen.com, and they had this idea a couple of years ago where they wanted to mow the lawns for people who were in need, single moms or the elderly or veterans and people like this all across the country. And so there was one guy that really kind of started doing this on his own, and then it just took off. Well, today at 10 a.m., they're going to open it up for kids all across the country to sign up to take this challenge so that they will mow 50 lawns, 50 yards for their neighbors who are in need.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids that are doing this. So they opened it up a couple months ago. I think it was April or May. And 143 kids in the Carolinas and Georgia signed up to take this challenge.
How many?
143.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I know that kids said, and they take a picture of themselves or a video with a sign that says, I accept the challenge, I take the challenge. And so they're opening it up again today because there's so many other kids that want to take part, but they're giving away like t-shirts and some other prizes depending on how many lawns, how many yards you actually cut. So you keep track and let them know the information and you get the stuff.
And I love they're doing it for people in need.
I do too.
No, I was thinking, somebody was asking me because we just went through some health stuff in my family, and there was another member of my family that just went through something. And so they go, I got a call from a church, and they said, hey, do you need any help with anything? And I said, you know what? I think we got everything. And I started thinking, I need the lawn mowed. And then I felt guilty, and I went, no, forget that. I can mow the lawn myself. I'm able to do it.
And it's hard not to think like that, to feel guilty about asking for someone's help. But what I try to think is, if I don't allow them to do it, I'm kind of robbing them of that joy they get helping someone else.
I actually felt kind of lazy.
No.
And then I thought, there are people who are probably very similar situation that you have no idea that could probably use that help.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of challenged by the kids that are being challenged and taking the challenge to mow 50 yards.
Yeah.
50 lawns like that, just to take a look at my own surroundings to see who in the world needs some help.
Yeah.
And maybe I can do it for them and not be lazy.
Right. But if you can't mow the lawns, look around, see who needs some help, and, take that challenge to jump in and.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
The algae you see that's floating on top of a lake or in the
Yeah.
ocean, it's coming in.
Pretty
when you
gross.
get the stuff on you, you're like,
I mean, you think it's an animal or something. I don't know.
Well, now you can wear it and look like Chewbacca.
Oh, well, good. That's the fashion statement I was going for summer of 2021.
I know, right? It may be available in 2022, but literally there's a company, or actually I should say scientists.
Okay.
This is a scientist-made thing. Scientists getting into fashion. Go figure.
Think about that.
They made a 3D printer. They're using algae and making clothes out of algae. Stuff that you wear.
Okay, so I guess it's good for the environment?
Yeah,
Is
because
that-
it breathes.
Okay, so who thought of this? I know scientists think in
Scientists.
different ways that we
The
never
thought
think
is
about.
the space colonies in the future. because like in Mars and space colonies on the moon, because it looks like it's getting closer and closer. I mean, there was that contest to have a colony on Mars. I don't know ever what happened to that. I think that just kind of dropped flat.
I'm just going to throw it out there. I want y'all to figure out how I can breathe without a helmet on Mars before I get my fashion statement from scientists.
Of algae.
Yeah, I want to be able to breathe.
Yeah,
But
so
I
they have shirts and other things. So they're 3D printers, algae, breathing clothes that you wear.
3D printer.
And it helps bring more oxygen into the environment. That's the thought behind it.
And I get that. And I know scientists have to, there's a path that they have to go down to get to where they're actually heading for. I don't think they were
listen, I
to
wear
make
cotton.
clothes. I like
because
cotton
it's the
myself.
fabric of our lives.
Yeah.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Some people, cruising is their thing. They like to go on the big cruise ships. And it wasn't too long ago that the cruise ship said, if you're vaccinated, you can come on.
Okay.
Now, Royal Caribbean is the first cruise line that said, you don't have to be vaccinated.
Okay, so it's open to anyone.
Yeah.
They're going to take some measures to make sure
For
everybody's
those
safe.
unvaccinated, they'll do the temperature, they'll do the testing and all that other stuff to make sure that, the proper protocols that we've been used to for so long are in place.
Yeah.
So if you got the card, you can go in. If you don't have the card, you'll just get through some testing and
take your temperature. And I think everybody is willing to do that, don't you? If you're not
Most
vaccinated.
people are,
Yeah.
of course.
Haven't seen an issue with anybody,
I haven't had an issue, but the only place I do that is when I go to the doctor's.
Oh, right, yeah. I went in to the post office, and there was protocol that most places...
They took the temperature at the post office?
They didn't, but it was mask required, and I haven't seen that. I've seen recommended.
More places are doing recommended than the required.
Right. So Royal Caribbean, the first of the cruise lines, I think you still maybe have to be vaccinated at the others, from what I understand.
Royal Caribbean's the one what this says is Royal Caribbean is the one that first said.
Yeah. You can be either or.
Yeah, it's not required anymore.
We're going to cruise again.
Yeah, looks like it. If that's your thing.